What's up, YouTube? Yankees Jets fan 71 back with another video. So remember when I told you all I was working on the Topps 80s Yankees team set? Well, got a sports lot order in today, so I'm going to add to the collection that I already have going. This is from these are cards from 1980 to 1990. I'm sorry, 1984. So it's not the whole decade. I grabbed what I could from this one seller, shipped it perfectly. I've just about getting ready to place a second order for the other half of the 80s. Didn't have all the cards I needed, but he had enough of the cards so that way I could make a dent in what I need to put together to finish off the set. Still my goal to finish the 80s by the end of the year. I'm hoping that I get to do that, and I think I can. Once I get this next order placed and received, then in December I'll just grab the few cards that I need to finish off the 80s team set, and then I can move on to either another decade or to concentrate on player collections. I was actually looking at some cards for my PCs on Sports Lot, and I can probably make a dent into some of those PCs, like the Tino Martinez PC, for instance. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's show off some cards. Okay, so starting off with the 1980 Topps team set, I was able to pick up cards of Don Hood, Juan Beniquez, Ken Clay, Ron Davis, a player the Yankees should have kept, but didn't. We got an earned run leaders, if I can get to it. Earned run leaders of J.R. Richard and Ron Guidry. Got a George Scott card here. Got a Brian Doyle. Not to be confused with Brian Doyle Murray. Oscar Gamble, still with Rockin' the Fro in 1980. And we got a sweet Lou Piniella to close out the set that team set. Moving on to 1981, just two cards I was able to pick up, one of Gaylord Perry and the other of Rick Reichel. Going on to 1982, picked up one of Dave LaRoche. Picked one up of Bobby Mercer. Loved Bobby Mercer when I was younger. Before I go on, look how great the condition of these cards are. For the most part, these are like near mint condition, and I didn't even pay all that much for these cards. I'm very happy with the Sports Lot order, and I will definitely be ordering for them again, especially this seller. There's a Bucky Dent in action card. Got a Willie Randolph All-Star. Got another Bucky Dent. Got a Rich Gossage card. I wish he wasn't excommunicated from the Yankees. It's another one. This is his base card. And his in-action card. So I got 3 in a row of the Goose. And we got a Bobby Brown. He's the Yankee center fielder for a little while. Yeah, Dave Collins, who we got from the Reds. Bit of a disappointment, if I remember correctly. A Roger Erickson card. And we got Butch Weiniger, who wound up being the Yankees' everyday catcher for a couple of years. So then we moved to 83. Got Steve Bye-Bye Balboni. I never understood why they always tried to get someone who they thought was better than what they had in-house, which of course was Don Mattingly. Well, Mattingly wasn't the first baseman at that point, but that year he did come up in the bigs, and I think he came up a little bit in 82 and was an outfielder. They never put him at first for whatever reason until they had to put him at first, and once they did, they couldn't get him out. Here's a base of Rich Gossage. Here's Rick Cerrone, who's still hanging around. I love these cards. These are the super veterans. It's a picture of when he first debuted to the picture of the year the card was here in 83. So that's a pretty sweet card. It's another Roger Erickson. It's one of my boy Greg Nettles. Here's a card of Bobby Mercer, of him in his rookie year, and him right before he's about to be bumped out for Don Mattingly. I don't know if you know the story, but Mercer was the Yankee broadcaster, or not the Yankee broadcaster, he was on the Yankee roster. They needed the roster spot for Don Mattingly. So Steinbrenner went to, and I mean Steinbrenner, I mean George, not Hal. Hal wasn't around at the time. Went to Mercer and asked him if he would retire. He would give him a bit of a raise, I think a little bit, and move him up to the broadcasting booth. Mercer knew he was on his way out, and he was like thinking, well, at least I could stay with the Yankees and, you know, do something with them. So he accepted the job, and up came Mattingly. And here's another Sweet Lou. So then we go to 1984. Got Omar Moreno, who was our center fielder for like that one season, I think. I'll never forget. Someone hit a home run off the old stadium. If you remember the old stadium, the wall, and then there was like a, I guess for the part of the batter's eye, was a white concrete behind the wall, and then that's where the bleacher sat upon. So ball bounced off the concrete, which is a home run in Yankee Stadium. Marino tried to play it off that he either caught the ball or bounced off the blue wall and threw it in, trying to nail the runner at second. Thought it was hilarious, and that didn't work. Okay, here's Ron Guidry. Focus, there we go. Another Rick Cerrone. He was still in the Bronx. They were platooning him and Weiniger. Weiniger took over, I believe, after this season full time. Another Rich Gossage. Got some some league leaders. Or career leaders, I should say. So this was the active hit leaders. And I think at the time it was Carew. No, yeah, it was Rod Carew, who I absolutely want to start picking up some of his cards. I was such a big fan of Rod Carew when I was a kid. Bert Campaneris and then Reggie Jackson as the all-time career active hit leaders. And here's the career active home run leaders. Reggie's in first, followed by Greg Nettles and Greg Luzinski at the time of 1984. And they got the career RBI leaders. Reggie, Ted Simmons, and Greg Nettles, two Hall of Famers, and one guy who could make a case that he could be in the Hall of Fame just based on his defense alone. Anyway, guys, obviously this is not all the cards I need. There's still a couple more cards for each team set year that I need to finish these off. I'm going to hopefully finish these off in December. But I'm going to place another order, and when that order comes in, then I will have another video on these cards. Also, I do have some videos coming up this weekend, as I did get a big box from a big box group break. So I'll be showing off some of those cards as well. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for that video. If you liked the video that you just seen, please click like and subscribe if you want to see more videos such as the one you've just seen. Guys, I hope you have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.